So I'm sitting here today. It's July 8th in Levan, Utah, with Brent and Ron Harper. So you guys were telling me a little bit about this car that's in the background. Which one of you wants to go first and tell me about how you acquired the car and how it ended up with a couple of motors and how the rear end got pulled out to go drag racing and basically all the hell you two raised when you owned this car.
Well, he can start out with it because he bought the car.
All right, let's do that, Ron.
All right, I bought the car in 1965. It was a year old. It had somewhere around 1,600 miles on it. Come out of Las Vegas car. I bought it in Salt Lake. I drove it for 4 to 5 years. Got wind of a 426 Max Wedge that was in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Guy wanted to trade the 383. This car had a 383 in it. Wanted to trade to the Max Wedge for the 383, so I swapped motors. And in the meantime, we was doing quite a bit of street racing and actually towing another vehicle to drag races in St. George, Utah, every month. And I had some friends that ran a top fuel dragster in Salt Lake that needed a rear end. And so I would swap, I had a 410 rear end, Detroit locker in it, and I would swap the rear end out and let them run it in their dragster, right there at the dragster at Bonneville, and then throw the rear end back in his car, drive home in it, and not think twice about it. In 73, I have no idea how many miles I put on it, but I won a lot of races on the street with it, I can tell you that. But anyway, in 73, I bought a pickup truck and I sold it to, or well, give it to him, my younger brother, and you can go on from there.
Well, so I have a question before we talk to Brent. So how many street racers were there in Levan, Utah with the Max Wedge in their car at the time?
One.
There's one.
There was me, but most of the racing I actually done was in street racing. Even Nephi never had anything that would handle what this was. Most of the street racing I done was in either Provo, Springville,
Utah County.
Spanish Fork.
Yeah.
I was living up there at the time when I done most of the racing. So
you had to go looking for a fight.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny because there was a few times that I was a little worried, wondered, from the stoplight to stoplight, kid would pull up, and I remember this one kid in a Ford, is a Fairlane, had a 390 emblems on the front fender, and he rolled down the window and says, "Nice night for a acceleration contest, wouldn't you say?" I said, "Yeah, it looks like it." So we took off from the stoplight to stoplight. Well, and he was no competition. So then he pulled up again. He says, "You want to go for some money?" And I got a little worried then. But I said, "Yeah, I'll go for some money." So we went out on the frontage road along the freeway there between Springville and Provo. And Buddy was with me, and I says, $20, which was a lot of money in 70, 71. And so anyway, my buddy, he held the money, got out, held the money, jumped up and down, says, "Away you go." We had a quarter mile marked off on that frontage road, and just blew his doors off. And so I thought, well, he's going to go for some more. I'm getting suckered into this. So he says, "How about one more time?" I says, "All right, well, for how much? $20. So we went again for $20, and he was no competition. I don't know what was his deal. But anyway, my buddy had the $40. I won $40 that night. So But I was drafted in '69. Went to Vietnam for 15 months. Got out of Vietnam, got out of the Army early. This car was parked for that 15, 16 months. Still had that 426 in it then. And fired right up. We went right back to the same old deal until '73, and I decided I needed a truck. So I don't know if you got another question or not, but it went to Brent then.
All right, we're going to stop right here.